But unfortunately, I, like some of the other members, need to go away for a while. I need to recalibrate. I need to figure out some things. But as my brother Malachi once said, this isn't goodbye, this is just see you later.
What is up? We are wrestling maniacs out there worldwide. It's the best one, Donnie here, back with a brand new episode of Hot Takes. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers, the best way to support us is by hitting that subscribe button now, turning on the post notifications, videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO, and of course, you already know, the grind is real. And for this week's episode of Hot Takes, I want to give you guys my take on the whole situation going on with Buddy Matthews and Malachi Black. Both guys are, absent now from AEW. It looked like Buddy Matthews at Rampage. That was the last time we're going to see him for a little while, because at a independent wrestling show, he pretty much, went on and he said that he needs to take a break for a little while, and this is not a goodbye, this is a see you later. But before we get into my opinion and my takes on the whole Malachi and Buddy Matthews situation, I want to talk about Teddy Long. Because this morning I go on wrestling Twitter, I always have to do this on Sundays to just, make sure that I got some good hot takes and stuff. And all I'm seeing on wrestling Twitter is Teddy Long blocking everybody. He went on a blocking spree, it looked like, and there was a video surfaced that Teddy Long got hacked on Twitter, which is what I figured happened to him, because I don't think Teddy Long's the type of guy to pretty much just block every friggin' wrestler on Twitter for no reason. I feel like Teddy Long's one of the nicest guys. I actually met Teddy Long as a kid, and he was very, very nice. But now, let me give you guys my thoughts and opinions on the whole Buddy Matthews, Malachi Black situation. So in case you guys don't know what is going on, Malachi Black, he had his last match with AEW at All Out. It looked like he got granted a release. He is no longer, a part of AEW from what we know. He, has been dealing with a lot of back issues, and it looks like he is taking his first break in wrestling after 20 years of doing this. And I did not want to really talk about the Malachi Black situation, WWE or AEW. I don't plan on talking about, his future in wrestling at all during this, because Malachi deserves to have, the time to just focus on his life outside of wrestling and to make sure that he gets himself back to 100%. And this is the big thing that is really, I'm wondering what's going on here, because at first, with the Malachi thing, I was trying not to talk about it, but now, today, reports come out saying that Buddy Matthews is going to be going away for a while. Nothing about getting released by AEW or just anything like that, but it just looks like he is going to be taking a break right now from wrestling, and the questions have got to be running through our head. What is going on here? Because these two, it would be different if it was just two regular superstars on AEW, but this is 2/3 of the House of Black that are, away from television, and I really hope the Buddy Matthews situation is not a problem with creative or booking, because that's a big thing that a lot of people, are questioning with Malachi, with this injury and getting a release from AEW. A lot of them, are pretty much saying, oh, TK, you fumbled the bag with the House of Black, this and that, even though there's been a lot of issues, with the House of Black, unfortunately. Malachi, I knew when Cody Rhodes beat him they pretty much, when they had him feud with Cody, that was it for Malachi. Like, the run, like, they could have had this man on a monstrous run, and it could have been great. But the thing that scares me the most about this situation is the trio championship belts, because now the Elite, they're off television right now. The Undisputed Era, which they were known in NXT for, but now Undisputed Elite with Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Adam Cole. Now you got 2/3 of them because Bobby Fish, left and he was going to go back to WWE, but ended up in Impact. We made a whole video on our opinions with Bobby Fish. And now, pretty much, the House of Black, all is left is Brody King and Julia Hart. There's no Buddy Matthews or Malachi Black. And I really thought with these trio championship belts, it could have been a really stacked division. We could have gotten the Elite versus House of Black. I was waiting for that. Even, something that really disappoints me is that it looks like from Buddy Matthews' AEW debut to now, he's only wrestled one singles match, which to me is absolutely freaking mind-boggling because Buddy Matthews is really freaking good in the ring. And I'm just very disappointed, low-key, that they did not take advantage of the House of Black. I think they were always misused, understood. I think even in my promo reactions I was making to the House of Black, I didn't understand the messages that Malachi Black was sending. It made zero sense at all, and nothing really translated to AEW television. And I felt like it was a fumble, from the start. Unfortunately, I was a fan of the House of Black. I think their matches were incredible, and that's why a lot of people don't really talk about the character side of the House of Black and why maybe it didn't work with AEW. But when it came to the trio matches, they were putting on the best trio matches out of any trio group in AEW. And now for me, I am wondering, what is AEW going to do with these trio belts? There's, they do have lots of trio guys, but I'm talking top guys. That's why the tag team division in AEW is so stacked. They have such a, diverse group of individual tag teams. But now with the trios, the Elite, they're gone right now. The House of Black, literally, it's only Brody King. And there's other people that are getting injuries and stuff. I know Ray Phoenix has been dealing with injuries throughout his run in AEW so far. I wonder what's going to happen here, because the trio belts could be a fumble because of some of these things that are happening right now that are not under, AEW's control. And it's unfortunate because, with Buddy Matthews, I really do hope he comes back. I think, the House of Black can still work with Buddy Matthews and Brody King as a tag team. And I think that they could be tag team champions, definitely. But what I think is going to happen, I do think Buddy Matthews, he was really close buddies with, Malachi Black. I think he's just going to take a break right now, get his head straight, and probably dealing with some injuries that he has to, heal up. I think, Buddy Matthews will come back to AEW, I think, and probably have a singles run until, the contract expires, and then he'll, probably go back to WWE realistically, especially if Malachi Black goes there. Which I will not give you guys my thoughts on where I think Malachi is going to go, because I just want him to get his head straight. But it's unfortunate. The House of Black, was really a miss. One thing I will say, and here's a hot take. I really think now that Buddy Matthews and Malachi are away from AEW TV, I think Brody King, he'll probably be paired. He'll still have Julia Hart by his side. I think Brody King is going to strive. I think that he is going to have a monster singles run. And I can definitely see Brody King winning the TNT Championship. Maybe being the one to actually take it off of Wardlow. If they, book him properly, I think the rivalry that he had and the matches that he had with Darby Allin need to not go unnoticed. They actually put on a great friggin' rivalry. And, Darby is a lot smaller than him, and he made it realistic. If you watch the entire match, nothing about it was, it didn't come off fake or anything how they did it. those two worked really well together, and Brody King to me like really stood out of the three, which for me is very shocking because that's the last person that I would think would really stand out to me in the House of Black. Because, of course, Buddy Matthews is a phenomenal freaking professional wrestler. Malachi is just special. And Brody King out of the three really showed me a lot of, character growth. And I think they can build this man as a monstrous heel. And I think he can go on to become TNT champion. I think, a rivalry with him and Miro, that would be another good one to see down the line. And I really want to see what they're going to do with Brody King. I don't see Brody King leaving AEW. The other two, I can definitely see them, jumping ship. But now, that's what I want to get into is the locker room drama with AEW. Because, of course, wrestling, Twitter, and the We Are Wrestling Maniacs are all wondering, what the hell is going on? Because a lot of these, former WWE guys are asking for their releases now in AEW, now that Triple H is taking over WWE, and there's lots of questions that, we are trying to get answers for. And why you're probably tuning into my take, because, a lot of wrestlers aren't giving you theirs. Here's what I think, needs to happen, and I always say this about any wrestling promotion. If your superstar wants to get released, if he does not want to be a part of your wrestling promotion, you need to cut ties with that wrestler as soon as possible. It might be a loss for you in, short term. It might be a loss for you because, he or she will jump ship and go to WWE probably and strive. Or, opposite. Someone leaves WWE because they're frustrated and then they go to AEW, short term, you're going to get some backlash. But long term, it is going to do your locker room better. It is going to do wonders better for your wrestling promotion if you do it. And one thing the person I need to give credit to is Billy Corgan, the lead singer of Smashing Pumpkins, the one that's running the NWA, because the way that he has been handling the NWA business side of things have been top notch. It's probably been right now the best friggin' possible way, because Billy Corgan, if you do not want to be a part of NWA and what he is rebuilding this promotion, he will be more than happy to get you out of his contract, and he will let you go do whatever you want to go do. And I respect that from Billy Corgan, because he looks at it from, the business side of things, because with the locker room, you want the chemistry to be there, and if, people are not happy, there's going to be lots of drama, there's going to be lots of issues, and that is not going to make your television product better. Which is, I think, why the Attitude Era is one of the greatest eras in professional wrestling. Is literally because you had an entire locker room who all had the same goal. And that was to beat WCW and put on the best product they possibly can on Monday nights and, of course, Thursday nights with SmackDown. So that is what I am trying to say here. I think TK really needs to sit down with all of his wrestlers, and he just needs to cut the bullshit and tell them, if you don't want to be a part of AEW, then go off. Go do what you want to go do, and focus on building all elite wrestling. I think Dustin Rhodes, recently said this as well on a podcast, saying that if you don't want to be a part of what we're building here, then go to WWE or go somewhere else and do what you want to do, because you're wasting our time. And I have to agree with Dustin Rhodes on that take. I think now that, these reports are coming out that these former WWE guys who signed deals with AEW before Triple H took over, saying that they're very frustrated and they're pissed off about how they're being booked and stuff, I think Tony Khan just needs to just let them know, like, if you're not happy, by all means, I will let you go out of your contract, because short term it might not be good, but long term it is going to do better for the promotion itself. And I think WWE's got to do the same thing, which right now there's not really any reports about upset superstars in WWE. Right now it's mostly AEW. Which, at the time, I was even saying this when, wrestlers in WWE like Mustafa Ali was frustrated. I think, if a wrestler on your roster is frustrated and they're not the world champion or a main eventer, I would, let them go. And, yeah, that is my thoughts and opinions on that. But let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about the whole Buddy Matthews and Malachi Black situation. Is there more to like just injuries and resting, or is there something more to this? Like, you know, with wrestlers being frustrated, like, should they just let them go? Like, what? Let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed this week's episode of Hot Takes, make sure to smash that like button now. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Links down in the description below. You can go follow me on my social medias and other YouTube channels. All the links are down below. And of course, to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we are taking over. Peace.